morning, Jules here. Welcome to my channel. Today it's back to basics again, and what I've been asked, I have covered it in this series just briefly, but it's a hidden spine binding. Now a hidden spine binding is a hidden spine. I've searched and searched and searched, but it's a hidden spine. So what I've got here is I've got a, you've seen me make a cover with card and paper and cover it. This time what I'm using is, because I get old books from the charity shops, thrift shops or whatever, I'm using one of them. So I got 10 pages. They're just coffee dyed, avocado dyed, and I think it's just coffee, tea and avocado. I had to cut them down, not that way but that way, to fit in this book, because this is just going to be an ideas journal. Obviously you saw with the last one I ran out of space, so this is why I decided not to do anything, just to do plain pages so I can get lots and lots of ideas. This is just an embossed bit of card. It's actually part of a birthday card that I embossed and just rubbed over with inks and bits of gilding wax and stuff like that. So I've got my pages, I've folded them in half, and what I want to do now is I want to put these together. I've actually made the holes in here already, but I will show you. So all I've got is a bit of foam, and it's a bit of foam that you get from packaging, you know, when you buy a printer or a cutting machine or something like that. I've already marked them. So this is the centre. Now we're doing a 3-hole pamphlet stitch. That's all you need for a hidden spine binding. So you put your hole, make sure that your pages are together how you want them, and just put your hole in there. That's it. And then a hole either side at equal parts, and I'd measured that out. So I measured the middle, and I think it's 2 1/4 inches up either side. Now I've done the same with this, so I'm going to put my so that's the hole. There, and I want 2 1/4 inches. It's a bit big, but never mind. And there we are. This is the spine. So what I want now is I want some thread. Now I use wax thread, and I've just got a big load of wax thread from Amazon, because I like using it on my journals as well. And I just want a large eye needle. You can get a bookbinder's kit from Amazon, and you'll get the twine and everything with it. So there, I've got my needle, and they usually say 3 lengths. You actually don't need 3 lengths, probably 2 1/2, but I'll do 3 lengths like everybody does. But you really don't need 3 lengths. And then you thread your needle, and you want it to go in the middle one, and also your spine. This bit's going to create your hidden spine. Make sure you've got a bit there, and you can use one of your clips to keep that there, to keep it tight. and then just put that on. Then put your needle through. It doesn't matter which side, you can do either side, and then you come back in, then you go right over to the outside and through all the holes and pull that there, and then you want to go back through the middle. Now what you have to be careful is that you make sure that your needle isn't, I'm going to pull that thread down that way. You don't want to put your needle through the thread that's already in there, because it's then it kind of splits the thread and makes it a little bit harder for you to let me get this, for you to pull it tight, and you have to take it back out. So I'm just putting it back through there, and sometimes you have to work through your layers. There we are. And then I can take that off. Now what you do want is you need to pull it tight so that this thread in the middle is kind of tight. You need one thread either side. Okay, and then all you do is you tighten a knot, but before you tighten a knot tightly, make sure that your threads are tight on there, and then you don't pull it too tight that you're going to end up ripping your paper. And I think the reason that they do 3 is so that you've got dangly bits if you want dangly bits. I'm never that keen on dangly bits. It's a personal thing. I like them on the side of my journal and on the front and on the back of my journal. So then what I do, when I've done that, I then open my pages like that and just make sure that they all open. And there is nice blank canvas for putting new ideas in, new sketches, new journaling. I can decorate these if I want when I'm putting my new ideas in. And this one is going to be a kind of a Tuesday Treasures ideas book, because that's where I show my ideas on my Tuesday. So every Tuesday it's Tuesday Treasures, and I always have a freebie, and that's what I work on, the freebie. And it's just to give you an idea of what to do with it. It's, a lot of the time it's tags, sometimes it's folios, sometimes it's journal cards, sometimes it's pockets. And they're, you know, they're always different. They've always got a pattern on, a theme to what maybe is probably what digital I'm working on. And then that's what I do. And now I know that that opens. Then what I do is I take my, whoops, make sure it's the right way. Now, when you do this, you have to make sure that your strip of paper, your card, this, is going to fit in there. I'd already done that. And I could have done it a little bit bigger if I wanted, but I didn't want to. I was quite happy with that, because what I'm going to do when I decorate this, I'm going to put some tape down there just to give it a little bit of strength. I might put material down. So what I am going to use is I'm going to use Fabri-Tac, and it's a permanent adhesive. It's for sticking fabric to paper, card, fabric to fabric. And I'm coming to kind of the end of this, and I'm going to put plenty on. And the reason I'm using this is because part of that book is like a, it's not leather, it is a material, it's like a linen-y type material, so I want it to stick, so you can see I've got plenty in there. And what I like about this has still got the flaps, and that's where the card went under. So I'm going to try and get it under there. You don't have to, you can put it on the top if you want, but I just want to put it underneath like that. Just lifting that over. I can always bend the cardboard, and it is just cardboard I've used. And then I will stick that down once this is dry. And then what you would do is you would put that under something heavy. You can use, you know, clips at the end, but I would prefer to put it under something heavy until the glue grips. And Fabri-Tac is like any other glue, it does take a little while. And there you are, you've got your signature. And that's your hidden spine, so there's nothing there. So I can now cover that. And that's all that is a hidden spine. As easy as that. I know a lot of people are scared of it, but it's just like doing a spine in a journal, but you're using a strip of card, then you're putting that strip of card in the spine in your journal. I personally like the string on the outside because I've put beads through them and things like that. You know, depending on the type of journal. One Christmas one I did beads, an autumn one I've done beads, a summer one I've done beads, and they don't have to be perfect beads. So I'll show you here. I've got this one. This is the Ooh La La French one, and there you can see, so I used a paper bead and some little glass beads. But don't get me wrong, I do like the hidden spines, and I do hidden spines quite a lot, because sometimes I like to, you know, put stamped images on there. When I made the Outlander journal, I actually put little bits of sort of like thin rope on to make it look as though, and then I gilded them, painted it and then gilded them, and then I did a gold letter stamp on the back, so it made it look like a, you know, a book, a professional book. So that's that. And I've got a little sentiment to go on. Well, I did have a little sentiment to go on there. Yeah, I've also got that, but I don't think I'll use that. So this is just a paint chip. It's cookie dough paint. That's the colour of it, and it's just when I was in the local DIY shop, I noticed that they had a lot, so I decided to get some because I like using these. I like cutting shapes out of them, out my die cuts. I like making tags out of them, and I'm just putting that over there. And I've not inked around that one. I could have done if I'd wanted to, and I'm just pressing that down. The only reason I'm putting this on here is because I'm waiting for that to dry, and then I'm going to put some tape on it. And then I've got this one. This is a stamp set that I got, and it's verses from the Bible. So, and the reason I picked this for my ideas journal is because it's, the Lord himself goes before you and will be with you. He will never leave you nor forsake you. Do not be afraid, and do not be discouraged. So do not be afraid to try anything in journal. Do not be discouraged if you get it wrong. Just try again. So that's why I liked this, and it it did remind me of this verse. You know, don't be discouraged at anything. Try again. You will get it right. And at the end of the day, it's only paper. And if you've never done it before, practice on a paper that you're not really bothered about. You know, don't use your good papers. And there we are. Oh, I thought my phone was going to ring then. It just buzzed. It must be a notification. Okay, so what I'm looking at now is, this is just masking tape. And this is what I'm putting down here. You can use Tyvek. If you get Tyvek tape, you can use Tyvek tape, but I've only got Tyvek paper. Tyvek is something that a lot of journalers use, not journalers, but album makers that make albums, memory albums and things like that. They'll use Tyvek to strengthen these creases, you know, to keep the book from cracking, breaking, snapping off. In junk journaling, we tend to use tape, card. I'm just putting this in here, and it's just to keep it down. Turn that over. But I mean, I just sometimes use Tyvek. I bought a load on Amazon. They were just A4 sheets. Obviously I did it when I did albums. I do albums from time to time. In fact, the latest, the next Back to Basics, we're going to make kind of a laptop, a lap book journal with 2 signatures in. But we're going to do it kind of like the memory book style, because I think it's a good thing to know, and it just helps. You can do all kinds of journal all kinds of journal covers, and I think if you have an insight to making album covers, because it doesn't have to be perfect. It's a junk journal at the end of the day. I'm just pulling that straight down there like that, and I'm just cutting it. And the one good thing about using masking tape or painter's tape, whichever you call it, is it can be painted on, it can be inked on, it can be covered. It's quite good like that. And I'm just pushing that down. I'm just using the heel of my scissors. If you don't have a glue spreader or a whatever spreader, just use the heel of your scissors, and that'll stick down there. And again, I'll just and if you don't feel that your masking tape will stick, you can put glue down. If you don't have masking tape, you can use washi tape as well. Now I've got some washi tape that I don't use, and I kind of use it in spare bits where I'm, you know, if I've just got like a space between 2 bits of paper, I'll use a bit of washi tape. But my good washi tape I use on the pages and decorations and pockets and stuff like that. And there we are. So that's that. So that is now ready for covering. Obviously this book looks like 18 shillings. 18 shillings is a lot of money for a book. Nearly £1. Okay, so what are we going to do? We're going to put the back bit on. This part of the I think what I am going to do is I'm going to paint that bit, or I might just put some coffee dyed paper on it. I don't know. I've got some strips here that are cut off. I don't know. But anyway, the front bit was embossed. This bit isn't. But I am going to put it on the back. But I am going to use a bit of this avocado dyed paper, I think. So, because I can't put it on that, that is definitely the birthday card. I'm going to try and, see then I'm just pulling the pink paper off, which is fine. There's a little bit of sellotape because there was a little bit of a ribbon on it. But that's fine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ink round it. This is just a bit of parchment paper I've picked up when I was doing my waxy bits the other day. I think we'll use seal brown and we'll just go round. And as you can see, I'm not bothered about that. It'll cover up. We'll cover it with something, lace or whatever. It's just that I wanted this pink to cover the book. And the reason I'm doing it on parchment paper is because I've not got my silicone mat on. Normally I would just use my silicone mat, but I've taken it off. It's downstairs. I'm going to wash it. And I think what we might do is, talking about washi tape, we'll put some washi tape over that, and that should cover it. Let me see what we've got. We've got this one. We've got plain ones. That's pink. No, I'm not going to use tone on tone, although I have got that one. I think I'll use that. I'm saying no, I'm not going to use tone on tone, but then I've gone for a pink one with spots. Now, these I got in Cyprus at Jumbo, or Jumbo. It's spelled Jumbo, but it's pronounced Jumbo. Just depends whereabouts in Europe you're from. But it's a brilliant store. If you ever go to Cyprus, they've got one in Paphos. I think they've got one in Nicosia. There's one in Paphos we go to. Yeah, they have got one in Nicosia because I've been to both. But they sell everything, but they have quite a good craft and stationery department. And they do lots and lots of washi tape. And so, you know, it's a birthday card I've used here. So if it hadn't worked out, I wouldn't have wasted anything really. And I'm just going to have that plain, I think. Just ink. And then and then we'll just put that down there, just push it into place. And there we are. So we've got that at the front, we've got that there, and do you know what, to be quite honest, I think I'm going to leave that because I can journal on that, because these are just going to be coffee dyed. I might decorate them with a bit of ink or something, but then when I do that I might ink this as well, or do a little bit of stamping around the edges. But I'm quite happy with that. That's my Tuesday Treasures ideas book, and what I can do is, you know, I can put weeks, Tuesday Treasures ideas, weeks, whatever to whatever, or months to months. I'm quite happy with that, just leaving it. I'm maybe just going to put a little bit of washi tape down there. And what have we got? We've got Big Dreams, Wild Heart. And this is one that I got from Cyprus. And that just fits in there quite nicely. And I'll just leave that in there like that. I was going to leave it, but I'm just wanting to, not that I have to, but I just want to cover that little bit there, and that up to there. And there we are. So yeah, and then it's just going to be full of ideas. So we've got the fairy fairy envelope, and it's is it an envelope or a bag. You can do it as both, and there's a journal card in there as well. And that's all I'm going to do, is just put things like that on, and you know, I'll just write the name. So that is what you call a hidden spine. There is other ways to do hidden spines if you're really bookbinding, but that's putting separate pieces of paper together. Let me show you. Where's my post-it note? Right, but this you have to be, so you would get all your separate pages, and it's usually for heavy paper, usually probably about 200 to 300 GSM, so you would have ever so many pages. And this isn't something that I've done it once, but I wasn't over keen on it. It's if you're actually making writing journals, you know, you're not going to decorate them up or anything like that. So you would have all your pages like that, and you would have them all creased and perfectly lined up. Then you would put glue on them like that, and you would have your spine, and you would put them up against your spine, and you would have a spine, you know, sort of like a proper spine. like what I've just done with that one. But you would have a you didn't get that one creased up very good. Should have done it on my crease board. This is this is 280 GSM, so you would have a spine like that, and as I say, you would glue it, then you would hold that onto there, you know, but you would have a big block, and you would have like bigger clips than that. You probably would have them in a vise. You can get special vices, but that's kind of specialized book binding and things like that. And then you've got other fancy book binding where you would sew each page in individually. Again, unless you're going to show that spine, it's something you can YouTube it, you can go to classes for it and things like that. I've done things like that in the past, but to me they're not quick enough for junk journaling. So anyway, so hope you enjoyed that. So we'll look at it once again because I'm starting to waffle. So we've got our hidden spine. So it's just like a normal, you know, signature. I'm going to put a bow in this because I don't like the dangly bits actually. I just do not, and I'm going to stop doing that 3 because that there is 1. So if you do it 2, you've got enough, or 2.5. So you've got your signature. You measure your piece of card that's going into the spine, and you put your 3 holes, 1 there, and they're evenly spaced through the pages and through the bit of cardboard. Then you stitch them together, then you stick that spine in to your journal or into your book like what I've done. And this is just, it was the career of Victor Hugo. So it's an old, early 1900s book. Yeah, it would have been when it was in shillings. So, and I just decorated it with a bit of birthday card that I'd embossed. And I put that side, that was a bit scruffy, so we put a little bit of masking tape, washi tape over. We put masking tape in the spine bit to cover the bit of cardboard. If you wanted, before you stick, you know, put your spine onto the cardboard, you could cover it, you could paint it, you could decorate it. And this, we put masking tape on that side and some washi tape, and I think I'm going to have to peel that off and put some glue down there because that bend is knocking that over. And that sometimes happens with washi tape and papers. So when you're sticking paper and things into a crease, make sure that you don't have edges or things like that, because that will happen. So I'm going to use this one, I think. And this is art glitter glue. And I'm going to get a bit of glue seepage here, but I don't care. And there we are. And I'm going to leave this, because I've now stuck that down, I'm going to leave it open until it sticks down and it's totally dry. It'll take a little while longer because these are kind of washable, slightly water repellent tapes, not fully water repellent, but slightly, because they've got like a coating on them. And then once it's stuck down fully, then I'll crease it up and fold it back again. So there you are. So hope you get something from it, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.